Okay, good. Everything is here now. So first of all, can you see my screen? Yes. Just a second. Okay, so at the back, your attention now. Okay, so what we are doing now, I'm trying to give you how you would basically convert this code or this flow chart into the code. So if you look at here, this is a flow chart that basically asks you to develop a program that based on the user option, that is if the user input 1, that will be basically converting Celsius to Fahrenheit. And if the user print 2, then it will basically do the other function. Now in here, if you look at it, the first thing is that it asks the user to input your choice, which means it expects that user would be printing either 1 or 2 for converting into Celsius or in the Fahrenheit. And if the user prints 0, then it will terminate. So if you look at this decision box, it is saying if option equals to 1, then use the function that will be converting in temperature to Celsius. Otherwise, if the option equals to 2, then use the function that basically convert from centigrade to the Fahrenheit. And if the option is other than this, then say the invalid options. Now, what we will do, we will do first the pseudocode. So what is the pseudocode? Pseudocode is if you go here and start a new book. So here, if I write it something, let it start first of all. Yeah, so pseudocode. So first is the first step is ask user choice. Okay, ask the user choice for conversion. Okay, and 1 for centigrade to Fahrenheit, and this 2 for Fahrenheit to centigrade. Okay, and 0 for terminate the program. This is our first step. So what we will do here, we will basically put this user choice, assign user choice into a variable. Let's call it OPT. Okay, so whatever the user will be inputting, it will be going into the OPT. Now here, if we say if OPT equals 1, 1, then call the function. Let's say I name it centigrade to Fahrenheit. I will create this function. Okay, are you with me? Else if OPT equals to 2, I will call a function, then call the function Fahrenheit to centigrade. Okay, are you with me? If user says 1, then we will be calling this function. If user says 2, then we will be calling this function. Okay, otherwise, else print invalid option. And terminate. Are you with me at this point? Yes. So this is our flow chart. This is our pseudocode. Now, if you look at this, in the pseudocode, we need something, a function which can convert from centigrade to Fahrenheit. And we need another function which can convert from Fahrenheit to centigrade. Okay. Now, if you look at the equations, this is the equation we have for converting from Fahrenheit to centigrade, this is an equation. Now look at this. This is a variable Fahrenheit. Okay, all the other things are constant. This is a variable centigrade. All the other things are constant. So what we can do is we can create a function, and that function would need this parameter. Okay, and then we apply this parameter with this equation to convert into centigrade. So first of all, let's see if we can basically convert it into the centigrade to Fahrenheit. So what I will do here, I will create a function. I will go in my code and I will say def. You know that def is used to create a function, and I will say what we are doing first. We are doing converting Fahrenheit to centigrade. OK, so Fahrenheit to centigrade. Yeah. So I will say Fahrenheit to centigrade. So I have just put it centigrade. OK, this means this function will take one parameter, and that parameter is Fahrenheit, isn't it? So we will be saying that this is a parameter that is passing to this function, and we name it f. Then we put this colon, and now we will be putting up this equation that is given here, f minus 32 bracket multiply by 5 by 9. So what we'll do, we will assign it to a variable c, and then we say f, which is our parameter, minus 32, and put it in a bracket. Put in a bracket here and divide it by what's the equation? Multiply it by 5 by 9. So multiply by 5 and divide by 9. That is our from Fahrenheit to centigrade. OK, and then we return this value, return C. That is our first function. And as you know, this is called as function declaration. We have just defined a function body. OK, this function cannot be run until we call it. Are you getting my point? So this is our first function, and we play it here. You will see that nothing will happen. It will just read this function and will know that there is a function called Fahrenheit to centigrade. OK, now we have to create another function, and that is the reverse of this function, which means def centigrade to Fahrenheit. OK, you can put any name here. OK, and what's the equation here? Just a second. OK, and this time I would be parked. The parameter is C. OK, OK, and then we put a colon here. And this time I will say f equals to, and the equation is C multiplied by 9 by 5 plus 32. So I would say C multiplied by 9 divided by 5, and I will put up into brackets so that it is coming a single expression, and then plus 32. This is my second function, and I will say return f, and this function is done. OK, so I have now two functions, as I mentioned here. I have two functions. Now I will ask the user what it is choice. OK, so this is my main program here. This is my, I can say this is my main program. OK, and in here, the first thing I would say OPT equals integer. Why integer? Because input always give you the string value. So I say input, and here I put the message, please enter 1 for to convert what was our thing? One was centigrade to Fahrenheit. OK, centigrade to height, and 2 for, and I can put a backslash n here so that it will be coming to the next line or not. And 2 for Fahrenheit to centigrade. OK, just in order to show you what is happening here, and then I would say it is just to show you. OK, print OPT. OK, let's start from here. So up till now, I am just asking user to say what he wants to do. So when I run it, look at this. It is asking, please enter 1 to centigrade 2 for Fahrenheit to centigrade. Okay, and if I say, let's say 1, now my OPT value would be 1. Are you getting my point? If I run it again, for example, to show you, and I say 2, now my OPT value is 2. Okay, so whatever the user is entering, it is going into this variable. Are you with me at this point, guys? Now I'm very easy. What I can do here is that I can say that if OPT equals 1. Okay, so which function should I need to call? I need to call Fahrenheit to centigrade, this function. So what I will do, I will copy the name of the function here, or if you do not copy, just put a colon here and put it here and say Fahrenheit, because now your system knows. You see, is what was the name? No, Fahrenheit. What was the name? This is one. Okay, and here I put out. Okay, now this is if centigrade, if OPT equals to 1, this means I want to know that what is the value it wants to convert. So I will again put up f equals to integer, and I would say input. Please enter value of temperature in Fahrenheit. Are you with me at this point? Okay, so just to show you the idea. Okay, this is I is capital, so that's why it's giving me an error. Put the I small. Okay, and here I did not call the function. I will just say printf, and now run it one more time. So it's asking me if enter 1 to centigrade and 2 for Fahrenheit. So if I say 1, now it will check if OPT equals to 1, it will be coming here. Now it's asking me, please enter the value of the temperature in Fahrenheit. So let's say I say 55. And it will just show the value of the Fahrenheit because I did not call the function. Now in here, I will call this function and I would say send C equals to, my function name is Fahrenheit to centigrade. And in here, I will pass whatever user has entered and I have assigned into a variable F. Are you with me at this point? And then I can pass a message here, print the value in centigrade is and comma C. Clear, everyone? Then this is OPT equals to 1. I will do the same thing, but this time with OPT equals to 2. Else if or just a second. Else if OPT equals 2. Last time it was 1. Okay, this time it is 2. This time I will be calling the another function, which is to convert from centigrade to Fahrenheit. And then I will say C equals to integer, because I want to convert into integer. Input, please enter the value of temperature in Fahrenheit. Sorry, in centigrade. Okay, and then once I do it, look at this. The cursor is under the C. Okay, so it should be tab delimited. Then here I will be saying F equals to, and this time centigrade to Fahrenheit. So you can see this is coming here. And in here, I will pass C. And then I can say print the value in Fahrenheit is comma F. And last thing is, if the user do not do either 1 and 2, I will say that else. Else means if it is not neither 1 nor 2, else print invalid option. Are you with me at this point? And let's run it. So if I run it now, this is the first thing, please enter 1 to centigrade and 2 for Fahrenheit. Let's say I say 2. When I say 2, it will check first here. It's not 1, so it will not go there. Rather, it will come here. Okay, and then it will ask the second question. Okay, which means it will say to you, give me the temperature value in centigrade and assign it to into a variable C. And then it will pass this C value into the function that we just created, centigrade to Fahrenheit. Okay, which means that this it will call this function here, apply this equation, calculate this answer, put it into the variable f and return this value f. When this return value is reached here, then it will be assigned to our variable f and we will print the value. Are you with me at this point? Okay, so let's see here. Now you can see it is asking me the temperature in centigrade. For example, I say 55 degrees centigrade and then I say enter and it say the value in Fahrenheit is 131 degrees centigrade. If I run the same program again, for example, and this time I did not put neither 1 nor 2, rather I say 66, for example. Now it will check this 1 no, 2 no, else it should be invalid option. Does it make sense? Okay, this is incorrect. You have to put invalid here. Okay, does it make sense, everyone? Okay, so this is how we basically convert a flow chart. You can see that using the flow chart, we have made a small functions, and then this is called as user interface. With the help of input, we have taken the value from the user, and based on those values, we have called the functions. Okay, understand everyone? Any problem here? Okay, so what I will do now, I will stop it.